Good morning. Today we are going to study general properties of the soil. So this is the today's topic, general properties of the soil, action of dilute acid on salts, decomposition of hydrogen carbonate, sulfides and sulfides. In this topic we will study when a metallic carbonates or the bicarbonates react with acid, then what products we are getting. So this is the general rule. Then when a metallic carbonates or the bicarbonates react with acid, they form salt, water and carbon dioxide. When metallic sulfide or bisulfide react with dilution, they form salt, water, sulfur dioxide. When metallic sulfide react with acid, they form salt and H2SO. So basically these 3 points, these 3 type of the reaction we have to study here. We will study the reaction, then when the acids react with such type of the salt, then what gas is released, then observation. Means we have to study for 3 points. So first of all, metallic carbonates and bicarbonates. Metallic carbonates or bicarbonates. When metallic carbonates or the bicarbonates react with dilute acid, what product you will get? You will get salt, water and carbon dioxide. Salt, water and carbon dioxide. This is the general rule. Any metallic carbonate or the bicarbonate, when they react with acid, they will give salt, water and carbon dioxide. So first example, that sodium carbonate reacts with H2SO4. This will form sodium sulfate, water and carbon dioxide. Then sodium bicarbonate reacts with dilute HCl, then the product will be sodium chloride, water and carbon dioxide. In the same way, you can take copper carbonate reacts with dilute sulfuric acid. This will form copper sulfate, carbon dioxide and water. In the same way, calcium bicarbonate react with dilute HCl. This will form calcium chloride, water and carbon dioxide. So these 2 molecules. So first of all, for you the question can be asked that write a chemical equation when sodium carbonate reacts with dilute sulfuric acid. So this reaction you can write. Give a chemical equation when sodium bicarbonate reacts with dilute HCl. Then chemical equation you can write. Now the question can be asked to you, for these reactions name the gas released. Name the gas released. Which gas is released? Carbon dioxide. Gas, if they are asking, means permanent gas. Don't write the water vapor. So carbon dioxide. Next, they can ask you observation. So if the observation is asked, most of the students they will write that if I ask you what do you observe when sodium carbonate with the dilute sulfuric acid, then some of the students will write that sodium sulfate, water and carbon dioxide. This is totally wrong. Observation means what you can see by your eyes. During the reaction, what we can see by our eyes, that is called observation. So whenever it is asked for observation, then you have to give the color of the products and if any gas is released, test for the gas. So for this reaction, carbon dioxide gas is coming. So you can write the test for carbon dioxide. So what is the test for carbon dioxide? A colorless gas is released when it is passed through the lime water. Lime water turns milky. A colorless gas is released when it is passed through lime water. When it is passed through lime water, the lime water turns milky. A colorless gas is released when it is passed through the lime water, the lime water turns milky. This is the reaction. This calcium hydroxide, this is the formula of the lime water. It reacts with carbon dioxide, form calcium carbonate and water. So because of this calcium carbonate, you are getting milky color. And for your knowledge, I want to tell you, if you pass the carbon dioxide for a long time, excess amount, then milky color will disappear, because this will form calcium bicarbonate. And calcium bicarbonate is soluble, that's why the milky color disappeared. And this calcium carbonate is insoluble, that's why you are getting the milky color. So this is about the metallic carbonate and bicarbonate. Three type of the question can be asked to you. First of all, they may ask you chemical equation, then they may ask you name the gas released, then they may ask you observation. And in here, colorless products are there, but this copper sulfate blue solution is there. So here one more observation will come that blue color solution is formed, and rest carbon dioxide gas is released, so which turns lime water. Now next one is metallic sulfide and bisulfide. Metallic sulfide, or bisulfide react with acid, it will form salt, water and sulfur dioxide. If the metallic sulfide or the bisulfide is there, then it reacts with acid, it forms salt, water and sulfur dioxide. So sodium sulfide react with dilute sulfuric acid. This will form sodium sulfate, water and sulfur dioxide. Sodium bisulfide reacts with HCl. This will form sodium chloride, water and sulfur dioxide. Then calcium sulfide react with dilute HCl. This will form calcium chloride, water and sulfur dioxide. Then calcium bisulfide react with dilute HCl. This will form calcium chloride, water and sulfur dioxide. So first of all, the question can be asked to you, name the gas release. So give a chemical equation when sodium sulfide react with dilute sulfuric acid. Sodium bisulfide react with dilute HCl. Calcium sulfide react with dilute HCl. Calcium bisulfide with dilute HCl. Now the next question can be asked to you, name the gas released. Name the gas released. So just to see which gas is released, sulfur dioxide. Then observation. A colorless gas is released when it is passed through the esterified KMnO4. Esterified KMnO4, that purple color is there, it changes to the purple to clear, colorless, and esterified potassium dichromate, that orange color is there, it changes to orange to clear green. So a colorless A colorless gas is released when it is passed through acidified KMnO4. The purple color changes to clear colorless. A colorless gas is released when it is passed through acidified KMnO4 solution. The purple color changes to clear color. Or when it is passed through acidified potassium dichromate solution, orange color changes to clear green. So anyone you can write, both are correct. A colorless gas is released when it is passed through acidified KMnO4 solution. The purple color changes to clear colorless when it is passed through acidified potassium dichromate. Orange color changes to clear green. For your knowledge, I want to tell you, two gases are changing the lime water milky. These two gases are carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. Both the gases are changing lime water milky because both form insoluble calcium carbonate and calcium sulfate. But for the test for carbon dioxide, we use lime water. And if you pass lime water through KMnO4 or K2Cr27, no color change will be there. What is the reason? The reason is that carbon dioxide is a non-reducing gas. Carbon dioxide is a non-reducing gas, that's why you are not getting color change. But if you pass sulfur dioxide in this KMnO4 and potassium dichromate, so from purple to clear colorless and from orange to clear green, because sulfur dioxide is the reducing gas. So for regarding the test, whenever it is asked for carbon dioxide, that you can use the test lime water, and whenever it is asked for sulfur dioxide, you can use KMnO4 and potassium dichromate. And if it is asked, give a chemical test. When you go to the practical chemistry part, they have this question asked in board paper. Give a chemical test to distinguish between carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. So this solution can be used either KMnO4 or K2Cr27. So when sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide pass here, that color change will be there in case of sulfur dioxide from purple to clear colorless, and potassium here in case of sulfur dioxide from orange to clear green. But in case of carbon dioxide, no color change will be there because carbon dioxide is a non-reducing gas and sulfur dioxide is a reducing gas. So if it is asked to differentiate between carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, lime water cannot be used because both the gases will change lime water milky, but we can use either KMnO4 or potassium dichromate solution. Now next one is that these two you have seen metallic sulfide. Now the next type, that metallic sulfide. So metallic sulfide react with acid, form salt and H2S. So just you see, this sodium sulfide react with H2SO4 diamond. This will give you sodium sulfate and H2S gas. If you take ferrous sulfide react with dilute sulfuric acid, this will give you ferrous sulfate and H2S gas. In the same way, if you take zinc sulfide, react with dilute sulfuric acid, this will give you zinc sulfate and H2S. So first of all, the question can be asked to you, give a chemical equation when sodium sulfide with the dilute sulfuric acid, when ferrous sulfide react with dilute sulfuric acid, when zinc sulfide with the dilute sulfuric acid. So the reactions can be written. Now, next one can be asked to you, name the gas released. So name the gas released, H2S gas you can. Now observation. First observation, a colorless gas is released, it has rotten egg smell. A colorless gas is released, it has rotten egg smell. Or another test, a colorless gas is released, it turns lead acetate paper silvery black. So lead acetate paper silvery black. So anyone can be used. This is given in practical chemistry. Just you open the book, your practical chemistry, and see the test for H2S gas. So this is very common. A colorless gas is released which has rotten egg smell. You must have seen in front of your chemistry lab, one keeps apparatus is kept. When the 11th and 12th students are doing the experiment, they are using the H2S gas for this salt analysis. So they use the H2S gas for detection of the groups. So in that one, sometimes leakage is there. So from that place you are getting very bad smell. So that bad smell is there because of the H2S gas. So H2S gas, this is well known test that rotten egg smell. A colorless gas is released, it has rotten egg smell. Or another one, a colorless gas is released, it turns lead acetate paper silvery black. It is also very common that name a gas which turns lead acetate paper silvery black. This may also be asked the question, name a gas which turns lead acetate paper silvery black. So your answer will be H2S gas. So now this topic is over. Next one is hydrolysis of the salt. So what is the hydrolysis of the salt? This hydrolysis of the salt is opposite to neutralization. So next one is hydrolysis of the salt. Hydrolysis of salt. It is opposite of neutralization. So in the neutralization, what you will study? Neutralization, you have studied that acid plus base, they form salt and water. So what will happen here? Here salt, a salt reacts with water to give acid and base. This is the hydrolysis. A salt reacts with water to give acid or base. So this salt react with water, this will give you acid and base. Now the next question, when the hydrolysis is done, whether the solution will be neutral in your mind, this question may be there that the salt will be neutral on hydrolysis. Yes, of course it should be neutral, acidic or alkaline. Three cases are there. It depends on nature of the acid and base. If acid and base both are strong, then the salt will be neutral. Hydrolysis of the salt will be neutral, its pH will be 7. If you add litmus solution, then it remains purple. If the acid is strong, acidic will be there, pH is less than 7. the base is strong, then it will be alkaline, pH is more than 7. So one example, that sodium chloride react with water. This will form sodium hydroxide and HCl. This is strong base and that one is strong acid. So both are strong. So this solution will be neutral. This will be neutral and the pH will be 7. If you dissolve sodium chloride in water and then check the pH, it will be 7 because the sodium chloride is a salt of the strong acid and strong base. If you add litmus solution, litmus you are making it neutral medium purple solution, so you will get litmus purple color. So litmus will give purple color. Because litmus color I have already given you that in neutral medium purple is there, in acidic medium red is there, but in alkaline medium blue is there. So next type of the salt. Suppose that if you take sodium carbonate react with water, form sodium hydroxide and carbonic acid. This one is strong base, that one is strong acid. Strong base and strong acid. So just to see, the basic nature is more. So this will be alkaline. This will be alkaline. It means when the sodium carbonate is dissolved in water, the solution will be alkaline. And if it is alkaline, then pH of the solution will be more than 7. And in this one, this litmus paper will give you blue color. So litmus solution will give blue color. Litmus solution will give blue color. Another one is ammonium chloride react with water. So this will form ammonium hydroxide and HCl. This one is this correction is there, sodium carbonate with water form strong base and weak acid. So that's why it is alkaline in nature. Here this is weak base and that one is strong acid. So here the acidic nature is more, so it will be acidic. Acidic pH will be less than 7 and litmus solution will give you red color. Litmus solution will give red color. So by this way you can solve it. So in your book it is given page number 56 that you can follow it, and here just to see question number 28 in page number 61, question number 28 is given. That page 61. In this one is given what will be the effect of each of the following solution on blue litmus. So this question I am writing on the board and I will explain you. This is based on this hydrolysis of the salt. So just to see, very interesting question, and such questions they are asking in board papers. So what is given here? This question is given, question 28, page number that 61. State what will be the effect of each of the following. State what is the effect on blue litmus solution. Blue litmus solution means it is already in applied medium. So this first one is given potassium carbonate, second one is given potassium chloride, and third one is given that ammonium nitrate. So this question will be solved based on hydrolysis. So just you write the hydrolysis. Hydrolysis of this one, 2H2O. This will give 2KOH plus H2CO3. This is strong alkali, and that one is weak acid. So what about the nature? This will be alkaline. This will be alkaline, and pH will be greater than 7. So this blue litmus, in this medium you will get a blue color. So blue litmus remains blue. Blue litmus remains blue. Now this one is potassium chloride, react with water, form KOH and SCO. This one is strong base, this one is strong acid. So that will be neutral. This will be neutral, and pH is 7. Now this one is pH is 7. So if the pH is 7, then blue litmus changes to purple color. Blue litmus changes to purple color. Blue litmus changes to purple color. Now next one is ammonium nitrate. Ammonium nitrate react with water, form ammonium hydroxide and HNO3. This ammonium hydroxide is weak base, and this HNO3, that is strong acid. So this will be acidic. Acidic. pH will be less than 7. So this blue litmus, if it is added, then blue litmus changes to red color. Blue litmus changes to red color. So this question is based on hydrolysis of the salt. So now you take that in your book, that reference of the general properties of the salt. This is given here, that recap of the class 9. So just you take the page number 56, what is given, water of crystallization. The definition you can learn, the number of water molecules which enter into a loose chemical combination with the one molecule of the substance or the one molecule of the salt is called water of crystallization. And the salt which are having water of crystallization, they are called hydrated salt. So that you can underline in book, that it is the amount of water molecule which enter into a loose chemical combination. Just you see in this gypsum 2 molecules, copper sulfate 5 molecules, calcium chloride 6 molecules, magnesium sulfate 7, and sodium sulfate 10 molecules, and sodium carbonate washing soda 10 molecules. Now deliquescent salt. Some water soluble salts, when they are exposed to the atmosphere, they absorb moisture and dissolve in that. Such type of the salts are called deliquescent salt, and the phenomenon is called deliquescence. So sodium chloride, at your home you are seeing that sodium chloride common salt is there. If you take a common salt and you keep on a table where you are taking the food, this rainy season is going on, and within 3 or 4 hours you will get a droplets of the water. But I want to tell you, common salt is a sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is not a deliquescent, but in the sodium chloride 2 impurities are there, calcium chloride and magnesium chloride, and these 2 impurities are deliquescent in nature. So when this sodium chloride is exposed, because of these impurities you are getting the deliquescence nature. So definition you can mark, water soluble salt which on exposure to the atmosphere absorb moisture from atmosphere, dissolve in the same, change to the solution. Examples: ferric chloride, calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, zinc chloride, copper nitrate. So the question can be asked to you, why ferric chloride is kept in airtight container? What is the reason? Because ferric chloride is deliquescent salt, it may absorb moisture. So such type of the salt, if they are asking why it is kept in airtight container, so that you have to mention that they are the deliquescent salt, they may absorb moisture. And if it is asked to you, what do you observe when ferric chloride is exposed to the atmosphere? So ferric chloride will absorb the moisture and change to a liquid state. That is the observation. Now the third one is efflorescence. Some crystalline hydrated salt, when they are exposed to the atmosphere, they lose their water of crystallization partially or completely and crumbles to a powder. Such salts are called that efflorescent, and phenomenon is called the efflorescence. So this also you can mark. Crystalline hydrated salt which are exposed to the atmosphere lose their water of crystallization partially or completely, change to a powder form. So copper sulfate, magnesium, sodium, washing soda. This question can be asked to you, what do you observe when washing soda is exposed to the atmosphere? So what we observe, that powdery mass is formed. Why this powdery mass is formed? Because of the efflorescent nature. So these points, 3 points, water of crystallization, deliquescence and efflorescence, you can study. And now in the next video, I will give you the board questions. So now that for this chapter, all the topics are completed, you study the topic and try to solve the board question.